for CJ, funnily enough. Ignite from Gloucester means Arthur is not going to be long for this world.
Oh, he's going to live. Just. First tank does go down. That was Atherin already. Yeah, the flank is definitely a factor. And also, Dark Knight in that 50B is still on the rotate in that meanwhile. Obviously, this fight is ensuing, and so that's pretty much horrible news for Comets.
Oh no, Val is going in. Yeah, this absolute circling here so far has been a rather dangerous sort of turnout here, with Gloucester being able to absolutely utilize the fact that the rest of ActionX were actually able to bait and force the CSs and the heavies to actually push over the ridge. Yeah, for ActionX, this could really be turned around, because the moment they lose control and the information game from the donut, that's basically GG. The fact that they don't really have any sort of cover from that ridge line also is not particularly the most ideal situation, which...
If ActionX puts a bit of presence onto the cap, that's going to alert Comets to the fact that there's not much happening on the other side of the map, and so they're going to try and find that pick onto CJ now. That hasn't gone well at all. AVP really needed to connect that shot, and at the very worst, trade 1-for-1. The fact that he now has not done that kind of opens the door back up a little bit for ActionX. But in that meanwhile, Mendicant has been farmed down to 891 HP. Dark Knight's making a big rotation as well. Again, out of the fight. And the Comets have really thrown this game away, it feels like. I mean, they had a great setup. They really did. And they had a good start. But this one little bit of cap pressure seems to have thrown them into a bit of a loop, and they didn't really know how to react to that. And as a result, they are now pretty much going to be losing this round. There's just no time left. Comets have got themselves in real trouble here. ActionX have been able to establish a crossfire pretty much in all facets of the map, and that is more or less going to be that. Dark Knight trying to win the 1v1 in a bad chat isn't really going to be able to do so against the M454, which, you know, you probably wouldn't back him to do. It's going to be a tough fight to win, and I think this is pretty much going to be the deal sealed by ActionX. This is going to be ActionX securing the full 3 points out of this game, and the Comets walking away empty-handed. Yeah, I mean, they can get around, but that's not what they're looking for. They haven't done enough today to secure themselves that spot in playoffs. They may still get it, but they're going to have to wait and see what the result of another match this evening is going to end up being. Mendicant is left alone. I do
look at
kind of like.
Goes.
I was going to say, I kind of like what ActionX are doing though, right? They've brought a really weird lineup, and they're just making this game really weird. Like, they're just taking some fights that you wouldn't really be expecting. Gloucester and Dongalord wrap around the back there, and they could cause a bit of a problem. And AVP in that Badger is maybe overcommitting a little bit, dare I say it. We've got CJ on the other angle that's going to be able to take him down, and Comets, it's now a 5-on-4. They could very quickly, if they take down Val and Gloucester, they might actually be favored to win this game. But Dongalord, he's just having an awesome time in this WZ-132, isn't he? He's driving around the map. He's run into a building. It really doesn't matter. He's a light tank, and he's having a good time. Get a good bunch of shots in. This, though, is a good push from Merry Turnup. He's in a safe position behind that little defilade, and it looks like shots are difficult to get in onto him. Wymo has missed one in that meanwhile, and, well, Cindy's kind of the only tank now on this side of the map. If they are able to trade 1-for-1, then that's going to be good, but this might end up being a little more than that. Matildas have really sent their forces forward quite strongly, and Dell's on the complete wrong side of the map right now. This is a well-timed push from Matildas. Grill 15, interesting choice. I mean, look, I used to be a big fan of the Grill 15, but I think it's going to be quite difficult to use that tank effectively on this map, especially if you're going to be the tank that is on the cap as well. He'll roll around this corner. Now, remember, that is not a tank that has a great turret. Like, the turret can turn, but not all the way. So these kinds of peaks that he's making are going to have to be a little more bold, and it's worked out because Dell was not expecting it.
Basically, yeah, they make it look winnable, but after that, it's basically all done and dusted.
It's a mistake if they push. The E50Ms are going, though.
They're going, yes.
They've only spotted Wymo and Rainbow. They don't know that Cindy's round the corner. They don't know that Dell is there, and now they're going to get farmed. Saxon deleted before he can even get anywhere. Is there another ram in any capacity? Doesn't really look like it. Oh, Whippet does get one in the 50B. I was hoping for it from the E50M. Rainbow gets one clip out before he does go down, but for the rest now, this should be pretty much farm time for the Sentinels.
And yeah, that's basically all a done deal. I mean, something that we basically really expected.
And Rainbow's gone down, so Matildas have actually gotten the first kill in this round. If they can remove returned...
Surely.
All right.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, they managed to actually remove him. And Wymo, yeah, not particularly enjoying his stay because the lower plate is nice and pennable here. But surely he's being allowed to knock Whippet off, or is Whippet just going to knock himself off? Oh no.
Wymo's just taking matters into his own hands at this point. Dell's farmed a bit of damage there, 3k. And he's done. So Matildas, they will save face. They will get themselves at least one round toward the back end of the series. All that damage that's going into Aussie can be traded back in the blink of an eye. Benny's obviously on an angle as well in the IS-4, and Napalm are coming across in that E100. Here we go. The Sharks are waiting. Russian down the long angle with the T-57 Heavy is blowing Dastardly into smithereens down to 54 HP, and now JT will finish that kill off. Panthers have walked into the trap, and they have not dislodged the bait even. Aussie still on 690 HP, so he's feeling comfortable, confident even.
So good for them. Aussie's still alive amidst all this chaos, and God mode now being bullied.
Now, hopefully, JT's just going to be able to get some extra damage in onto Goober, because I need some more fantasy points, and it looks like that's going to happen. Keep trying to chase JT down. He's not really going to be able to get that kill, so in the end, fortunate roll for Aussie is actually going to leave Dastardly alive for one more shot, which will go into JT. And he's really in trouble now. He's not going to get back around that corner, so he just has to try and dump that clip in as quickly as possible. Only gets one shot connecting it onto Goober, but it's not really going to matter too much. Scorpions are well and truly winning this fight. They've got a huge overmatch onto JS. God Mode was involved in that fight as well, but it was basically a 2v4 for those two. Now they're both gone, and it will leave Twit and Goober also in a 2v4. JT kind of getting farmed by JS in that 50B, but that'll give Aussie the opportunity to farm JS in the 50B. So it's all a bit how you going for both sides at the moment as Panthers do decide to make their push forward. Benny in that 60 TP now largely becoming ignored. Shots will get flung in his direction though as Panthers decide to turn around, and it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Benny, JS. JT now comes across in Super Conk, and Russian is there as well just to go up and over the top. God Mode pushes forward, tries to take that fight to Aussie. But Panthers do have to be very careful about how they negotiate this, because they do have an HP deficit. 3 tanks quite low. Well, actually 4 tanks quite low. While you've got the 60 TP and the Super Con kind of just playing the anchor role. And look at this, Aussie, free as you like, is able to get shots into the sides of tanks that are on the move. Panthers are going to be forced to try to take the fight, but they're going to have to do it in a fairly inopportune way, and that's going to give Aussie the first pick of the engagement. JT should get one more shot through. Did not manage to pen onto Dastardly. Instead of taking the free damage onto God Mode, he tried to get the killing blow onto Dastardly. Hasn't worked out, but it's still definitely winnable for the Scorpions, especially if Napalm is going to be penning his shots. Aussie needs to turn around and get into this fight, take down Goober before the next shot is fired, and I think that's probably going to be Bob's your uncle kind of a situation for the Scorpions. Napa just needs to pen one more, which he does. 3k damage in the 60 TP, and Aussie will have this one.
Wait, no way they're going for the full HE setup. No. That's just uncalled for.
Oh, they have.
It is. I mean, they managed to already eliminate Twit. That's the E5. Goldmore basically gets penned on the regular from
142.
Yeah, look, that's angling. There we go. Now we're getting something going. Now that's finally penning. Look, yeah, for all intents and purposes, the HEs are working out very well here. But at least, yeah, look, Dustly is able to get himself a 3k damage, so there's that. But yeah, HEs are quite a brutal thing when utilized in the right direction. And yeah, there we go.